The investigation continues into that deadly collision between an American Airlines jet and a Black Hawk helicopter near Reagan National Airport. Our Phil LeBeau this morning has the latest. Morning, Phil.
Good morning, Carl. They now have the black boxes. The NTSB recovered those from the American Airlines regional jet. Remember that after the collision mid-air was broken into three pieces that then ended up in the Potomac River. Those black boxes have been recovered. NTSB offices are only like a mile away, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get maybe perhaps an initial readout later today or in the next day or two. Won't take long. Air traffic control tower staffing deemed not normal yesterday. I've gotten some questions about this. That simply means that instead of two separate controllers communicating, one with helicopters, one with airplanes, as is usually the case, they can be combined under one person. That's what was happening when the incident took place, but it's not deemed unsafe under FAA guidelines. And finally, there are questions about airport congestion, specifically at Reagan National. As you take a look at the runway maps, we've talked about this over the last 24 hours. There is so much helicopter traffic along the Potomac. That is the designated route. Well, that's also where some aircraft come in when they land on runway 33, which is the short runway on the upper part there. And that's also the runway where the American Airlines regional jet was coming in when the collision occurred. The congestion is not going away, guys, not just at Reagan National, but at airports around this country. Look at the number of people who were screened by the TSA last year. It was an all-time high. And guess what? We're on pace for another all-time high in 2025. And this is the situation that the airlines, the airports, and regulators are going to have to figure out at some point. As you add more flights, which is there because of the demand, how do you do it and do it safely? So as you take a look at the airline stocks, we saw a little bit of pressure, just a little bit of pressure on American Airlines yesterday. That's typically the case after an incident like this. But by the end of the day, you really couldn't see anything. These stocks have had a heck of a year, really a heck of a last 6 months in terms of how investors look at them. And again, guys, we think we might get some information from the NTSB as they analyze the black box, either later today or in the next day or two.
Phil, Axios today points out, and you hinted at this yesterday, that the airport was designed to accommodate about 15 million passengers a year. It gets 25 million a year.
Yep. And look, they're landlocked. It's not like you can say, well, build another runway. You can't. This is the issue with so many of these airports, these older airports, especially the ones that are close to the downtown area in cities around the country. They are landlocked. So you've got to deal with what you have in terms of those runways. That's why runway 1 at Reagan National, busiest runway in this country, bar none. That's how many planes are taking off or landing on, every day.